The prestigious Uppsala Health Summit has become a high-profile annual conference in the Swedish city, and Ceva's involvement in the 2021 event follows its partnership with several animal-assisted programs throughout the Nordic regions. This included a project led by Matilda Strom in Sweden, with children facing different challenges being encouraged to stay in school. The programme expanded from the original 13 young people involved to over 130 and was declared a success, but was closed down due to spending restrictions.
If you do it for long term, they will notice that the children, they will stay in school much longer. And I guess that also would mean that you don't need to put in extra staff for it, because otherwise you would have to put in staff all the time to get those kids come back to school. We do have the proof that it has perfect effect on the health, but that's not enough these days. We need more, and that's why we also did this study.
And that study, supported by Ceva, will be the subject of one of the key workshops in this year's summit. Working with Matilda and other experts, Professor Lena Lidfors sent out questionnaires to 70 teachers of pupils who'd encountered interventions with dogs, and her subsequent findings will be presented to the summit, looking at issues including the health economics of interventions and the benefits to children, as well as the way dogs are trained and their handlers are rewarded.
We asked if they had success with using the dogs in school, and everyone answered yes. No one said no. So there is a success. And the health economic effects of this is that it's important that the pupils can end the school after 9 years with approved grades in Swedish, English, mathematics, and hopefully other subjects as well, in order to get into secondary upper school or high school, as we say in Sweden, and also for their future to get a job and to get higher education.
Research shows that training a social therapy dog in Sweden costs around €3,000. But the cost to schools for therapy sessions are relatively low, as handlers often work for minimal fees or sometimes for free. Meanwhile, the social cost of a 1-year delay in entering working life for young people is set at €50,000. If an individual is excluded from work during their lifetime, the costs to the state can be over €1 million. And young people who drop out of school have a much higher probability of being involved in criminal activities.
Och jag har 2 ord som jag tänkte jag skulle fråga er om.
Also taking part in the workshop will be Sarah Karlberg. She runs the Nordic Schools for Therapy Dogs, training handlers and their dogs to work in schools, homes for the elderly, and psychiatric wards.
We can see the effectiveness that actually children manage to reach their goals in schools, which in the long run means that they actually can provide for themselves when they grow up. But the problem is that you can't see the effectiveness right there and then. So the society needs to think of this in a longer run. So if you're a politician, you actually have to hear about this, because the preventive work that we do when we see and meet children in schools, they actually benefit from that when they are teenagers, because they actually have grades and they are managed to make a work career and pay back to the society as well.
The Uppsala Summit involves leading researchers and experts from around the world and is closely monitored by municipal and health authority decision makers. So featuring a discussion on animal-assisted interventions is seen as a big step forward for those involved, both in Nordic countries and beyond.
We hope that this might give some new energy into this discussion of dogs and animals in schooling in Sweden as well, since it's more common, to my understanding, in other Nordic countries and other countries, but not that much in Sweden. So both in Uppsala, but also on a national level, since this is, as I described this issue with municipal schools, this is an issue that only not Uppsala by itself might be one city by itself might solve. We might need to look at it on a national level as well.
I think maybe the biggest thing is actually the financial part. Sadly enough, we might have thought that the biggest part would be to prove that the people would have all those health benefits. But now I'm not so sure, because I think there is a then bigger issue with this. Because now they know that it's beneficial for the health. They know it, but now they need to know something more. And this is where we are now.
It's not hocus pocus. It's actually very efficient to work, and we need to have dogs that actually like doing this work as well. I'm saying here's to everyone who wants to think outside the box, because it's going to pay back.